Hi, welcome to Ed Foodie. We're going to make some onion bread today. And as you know, it's a little time consuming baking bread, so let's just get started on this right away. I've got my mixing bowl out. I'm gonna start with a half a cup of, I'm using whole milk. And you want this at room temperature. And this is to help activate the yeast that we're gonna add here in a little bit. I pulled mine out of the refrigerator and I just stuck it in the microwave for about 20 seconds. I've got a 1/3 cup of warm water, 4½ teaspoons of white sugar, 2 1/4 teaspoons of the dry yeast, and I'm just using the packets of Fleischmann's. 2 1/4 teaspoons of vegetable oil, one teaspoon of salt. Let's mix this good. And I'm going to add a little less than a teaspoon, about 3/4 of a teaspoon of garlic powder. So that room temperature milk and that warm water will get this yeast starting to activate. All right, so you can add, if you want, a 1/4 cup of chopped onions to this. I would recommend sauteing those onions in about a 1/4 cup of butter, add about a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of brown sugar and get them a nice caramelized onion. What I'm going to do here today, we'll see how this turns out. I found these at the Asian store, fried onions. And I guess they look similar to, the French's onions that you put on your green beans. So you could try that. I'm hoping when this gets in the liquid in the batter, it's going to soften up a little bit because I don't necessarily want it crunchy. But so I'm going to add a 1/4 cup. Now we're going to slowly add in 3 cups of bread flour. Make sure you get bread flour. And then we'll insert our dough hook into the mixer. I'll start it here. Add my 2nd cup. Put in our 3rd cup. I'm going to mix this in good, and then I'm going to knead it with the dough hook for about 8 minutes. I've been kneading for 8 minutes. All mixed in good, nothing sticking to the pan, to the bowl. So what I've got in this plastic bowl is about a couple of teaspoons of oil. So all I'm going to do is get this coated good on all sides. Form it into a nice ball. All right, we'll cover this with a towel. We'll let it sit 45 minutes. It should almost double in size. Okay, it's been 45 minutes. We have our ball of dough that's rose quite a bit. So now what I want to do, I want to sprinkle some flour onto my surface here. Now we're just gonna punch this and roll that around on the flour. We're going to continue to do this for like another 5 minutes. So I'm just trying to flatten this because I'm going to try something different here. What I have here is some fried onion paste, because I like mine like real oniony. So, and this stuff is really salty, so we have to be careful not to put too much. And I'm just going to kind of spread it around. Maybe a teaspoon. Just enough to cover the top where it looks like a very fine layer of like pizza sauce. So now we're just going to put it back into a ball. I've got a loaf pan here. Actually, this is a meatloaf pan, and I've greased it with Crisco good. So now I'm just gonna form it in here. And then we'll cover it again for another 45 minutes, and it should increase in size again. And then when there's about 10 minutes left, we'll preheat the oven to 350 degrees. All right, another 45 minutes has gone. Looks nice, filling up that pan. Now for the last touch. I've got some these dried chopped onions. I'm going to sprinkle some of them on top. And I'm hoping they'll turn like a little bit brown as it bakes. And what the heck, we'll put on some roasted sesame seed as well. Okay. Now to get that nice shiny looking on top, I'm going to baste this a little bit. I just have some egg whites. I probably should have done this first and then put the onions on. Got my oven preheated to 350. I'm going to put it in there for 1 hour and we'll be ready. Actually, what the heck, I'm going to take some more of these fried onions, sprinkle them, a little bit of them on top. I want to try to push these in a little bit so they'll stay in there. Hopefully these won't burn. okay. Okay, it baked for an hour. Looks great, smells fantastic. So now we're just gonna set it on a little wire rack, let it cool off. All right, let's taste this. It's still warm. Ah, this is good. See how that paste put in there so it's kind of swirled in there a little bit? Nice. Smells delicious. A lot of the onions on top are kind of falling off, but I guess that's typical. Nice. It's a pretty strong onion in there, so if you don't like your bread, real strong, don't put as much of the onion paste. Yeah, very good. And this is so much easier than the onion rolls I made. That was a fairly complicated process. This was pretty simple and quick. So, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe to Dead Foodie right over there. Thank you for watching.